Greetings, my name is Kibe. I'm the facilitator of Mentor Circle. I've been privileged today to be at Gatanga today at primary school, where I have walked the members of Mentor Circle through the theme of today was prudent financial management. And so some of the key takeaways, mainly we started by looking at identifying who we really are. A lot of people don't know who they are, but it actually boils down to what the scripture tells us, whereby we were created in the image of God. So to understand who you are, it means you need to understand who God is. You are a reflection of that. And who God is basically the creator of heaven and earth. So if God is the creator, then that makes us creators. So it's important for us to understand then how we create, because most people are not aware that every reality we face every day, we have actually created that without us realizing that. So it's important for us to understand the steps of creation. And so again, we go back and look at how God created. So the first thing God did is He thought about the idea of creating heaven and earth. Then secondly, He spoke the word, and the word became flesh. So because we are created in that image, that's the same way we create. So every creation starts with a thought. And after thought, when you speak something, you're magnifying the power of that thought coming to your reality. So the importance of understanding these basics is because a lot of people pray for financial freedom, but they keep holding thoughts of brokenness. So there's no way God is going to help you if you keep holding the thoughts of brokenness. What you think about is what you bring out in your life. Even Proverbs, I think it's 22, tells us, as a man thinks, so is he. So the first thing we need to understand as members of Mentor Circle is any problem we're facing, not just financially, the problem is not anything outside ourselves other than the thoughts that we hold. So we went through that and they understood it very well. The next step we brought about is to understand a very basic concept of what we call the cash flow quadrant. Cash flow quadrant reflects the 4 categories of where you can earn money from. There are many ways of making money, but all of them can be categorized into 4. So the first one, we call it E for employee, S for small business, B for big business, and I for investments. So E falls at the top. Under E you have S, then on the right side you have B, and below it you have I. So the people who are actually found on the left, who is E and S, trust me, you'll always struggle financially. You'll work so hard, but very little can come your way. Financial freedom is found on the right hand side. That is B and I. And the importance about understanding this is to realize where you are today. So if you're not happy with your financial situation, most likely you're going to be on one of the left side. Now, the next point will be, where do you choose to go? As a creator, again, you need to create that in your mind. So if you're employed, for you to go to the financial side, then it means the only place you can go is investments, because you can't be an employee and run a big business. So the focus now becomes, what kind of investments should I go for? If you are at a small business, then the next should be, you either go at investments or you figure a way of how you're going to grow this small business to go to B. So the goal as a creator is to know where you're heading. So it always starts with the idea, not the money. People wait for money to come, and that's when you get money, you start asking people, what can I do? No, as a creator, focus on ideas. Once you get those ideas, money will come your way. And so you have the ideas. These are now these fantastic institutions come into place, because there are 2 ways of how you can generate that money to either do investments or your business. Number 1, you save, or 2, you take credit. Now, as a member of the circle, you need to understand that there are certain things they look before they give you loans. Now, the problem with our society is we have been brought up with a society that has made us or programmed us to be consumers since we were children, because that's all we were exposed to. Nobody exposed us to investments or things like running businesses. We just focus on school, not realizing as the children are growing up, they're always being bombarded with the message of spending. So that piles up, and that's why you can see the whole nation, everyone is just spending and spending. Africa has just generally become a consuming nation because no one is teaching us to produce. So naturally, when you get a loan, the first thing or the reaction that is going to come to you as a creator, because you have been programmed to consuming, you're going to consume. That's why people take loans to do a wedding. How will a wedding pay that loan? You're taking a loan to buy a personal car which is consuming money every day, consuming fuel, going to, the garage. How will it pay back? So common sense will tell you when you're going to borrow money, let that money go to what we call cash flowing assets. And that's why after learning what we're calling the cash flow quadrant, the next important thing is to understand these two words, what an asset is and what a liability is. A liability is anything that is removing money from your pocket, and an asset is anything that brings money into your pocket. So assets can be broken down into two, what we call cash flowing assets and non-cash flowing assets. So cash flowing assets are assets that brings money to you on a regularly basis. However, a non-cash flowing asset is an asset that increases in value but does not bring money to you. So most of us in a member circle, we are programmed that when we buy plots, it's an asset. Yes, it is, but it's not bringing money to you, it's increasing in value. And that's why you find people owning vast range of lands, but they can't afford to eat. So smartness as a creator, you should be focusing on cash flowing assets. And the beauty about this thing is, once you identify the cash flowing asset that you want, you start saving towards that. It will become very difficult for someone to sideline you or tell you to do other things because you have a focus of something very clear that you're looking forward to, and you know very well once you get that cash flowing asset, it will start generating some income to you. So don't start with something big, start with something small, because that something small, you'll start paying back that loan. It is difficult for you to save to actually acquire a cash flowing asset. The easiest way is through borrowing, and that's where the struggle starts when you're starting. So start with something small, save the little that you can, show the circle that you've saved for this asset but you've not been able to acquire it. They'll be happy to give you that loan. Buy that one, bring it back to the circle, let that small generating income come back to the circle. They start getting wind of the savings you're doing through your either employment, your small business, and then now the income of the first cash flowing asset that is coming through. Save the two to actually build the second cash flowing asset. You will realize over time, this is how your wealth is going to grow. If you just save, it is going to grow parallel like this. So the smartness and what you need to understand as creators is we have been programmed just to focus on this. And that's because they compare those who are saving to those who do not. But they hide in you the power of cash flowing asset. So let's move our minds, especially women. Go and take that money, but before you take it as a creator, make sure you've come up with that cash flowing asset that you're targeting. Every year, give yourself that target for just one. And I promise you in the next 5 years, you will stop working for money and money will start working for you.